I understand. My past is not one I'm proud of, but I suppose it's only fair that you know the truth.
I'll be happy to assist you.
My parents were killed by Argonians when I was just a child. Raiding parties sent by those vile Anzilil. I was left alone, with nowhere to turn, and I fell in with the wrong crowd. Thieves and scoundrel in the outlaws' refuge. They became my family, made me who I am. So I grew up on the streets, navigating the treachery of Dunmer politics, the thieves' schemes, and the Anzilil's brutality. They're the Argonians' regime who rebelled against the Empire centuries ago and declared a bloody war against the Dunmer. They claim to be the Hist's representatives, but who knows if they weren't just some bloodthirsty monsters who killed in their tree's name. I can hate all I want, but however good I am with swords, I'm still just one woman, and they're the masters of an entire race. Even if the three Daedra were to make me their chosen, one does not simply walk into Black Marsh and topple a regime. You see, I was little more than a street urchin, scraping by to survive day to day. The grand schemes of the great houses seemed distant and alien to one in my position. But as it is with the Dunmer way of life, the treachery, the coups, the violence, those sent ripples through the streets I called home. Riots orchestrated by a rival house, schemes that required a convenient urchin at the right places. Those became my daily life. We may never have met then.
I'll be happy to assist.
Maybe I would have become a tavern wench who loathed the smell of Sujama, or a merchant who got ridiculously rich by dealing in arms. But what point is in wondering about what could have been? I am here now, a sellsword who fights by your side. It was a long story. Perhaps I'll tell you more another time.
I can tell you're no stranger to the wilds. I'm sure we can meet your hunting.
Of course. I understand. My past is not one I'm proud of. At one point, I heard about a rich mine owner, rumored to have amassed a fortune from a timely inheritance. So I did as my nature told me to do. I infiltrated the mine, pretending to be just another worker, while searching for the best opportunity to take what could be mine. At least I would have used my own skills and cunning to earn my prize. That mine owner just sat there and got everything when his relatives died. No, you misunderstood me. I was not a killer back then, not even for gold. I won't deny that the lure of wealth and power can be tempting, especially for one who has known hardship and deprivation. But whatever I've become now, that girl in Morrowind had no blood on her hands. That's where I met a man who had the same idea. How I cherish and curse the day which I met him. He was a stranger to me, and I thought I had known every face in my city. Naturally, I became intrigued, despite how we started as rivals, each trying to one-up the other. But over time, we grew to respect each other, and even became friends of a sort. That might have happened had he not shown his true face. Not as capable as I am in making rivals, but yes. It was a long story. Perhaps I'll tell you more another time. I caught a glimpse of his abilities with the blade, training with the dummy while no one was watching. He was once a mercenary who served different great houses, but now he worked in the mine to hide from the rival house's wrath. Only if I knew which great house's tail he had stepped on. He was vague about his past on purpose, and I understood well he wouldn't so easily give away the whole truth. When I saw him with his blade, in that moment I couldn't help but imagine I was him. I imagined how I could have defended my parents from the Ansilil with those skills. If I could turn back time and reverse my greatest sorrow. I had forgotten what happened in between, but I became his apprentice. During the day, we would mine the ore, and at night, he would train me in the art of swords. My patron, if you had swung a pickaxe all day long, it'd be impressive enough that you still had the energy to swing a sword. I doubt many could. I would have had someone who cared about me. But then the Anzalil came along and took all that away.
I'll be happy to assist you if you'd like to purchase something.
Evidently not. He might be my first teacher in swordsmanship, but the man only taught me the basic skills. Experience, my friend. That's the only reliable teacher one can ask for. Oh, pray tell.
I can tell you're no stranger to the wilds. I'm sure we can meet your hunting needs.
Don't we all have those dreadful mistakes we would give anything to rectify? Then came the regrets. A few days after I completed my training, my teacher suggested that we steal the mine owner's treasure together. I should have known better. We had planned for my teacher to strike down the guards before I sneak into the mine owner's vault. But when I got there, I only saw the mine owner's bloodied corpse. Behind him were tens of empty chests. In that moment, I realized I'd been set up by my teacher. I made my run. Obviously, the bastard wanted me to take the blame for the murder, while he made off with the gold. My instinct was correct. In a few days' time, every bounty hunter in Morrowind had known my face. I thought the only way to clear my name was to find my teacher, then take him to the law alive. If I was any more reckless, maybe I would have. But it wasn't as much about satiating my vengeance as it was about clearing my name. I was as naive as that fool who got set up by her teacher. That mercenary was the law. He was a Morag Tong assassin hired by the city to kill the mine owner so that they could confiscate his wealth. There was no place for me in Morrowind. Not anymore.
I'll be happy to assist you if you'd like to purchase.
Indeed. I had become a fugitive, a criminal, for a crime I had never committed. Once your name had been tainted by blood, it seemed much easier to dye your hands crimson as well. So I became a killer for hire to make a living, with the skills I had acquired from the man who taught and betrayed me. That depends on who you're asking about. I've always envied the children of those great houses when I was young. They always had tens of servants doing their bidding, got served the best food, and never had to worry for a single thing. And for the fact that most of them survived the Anzalil's slaughter when they left the civilians to the Argonians. If she fails her parents, the worst she'll face is to fade into obscurity. If the rest of us fail to make ends meet, there's only death. Obviously. But if the great houses see the rest of us as meat shields, then I should owe them no respect either.
Is just something else.
And now you're showing her what it is by traveling with her, aren't you? Show her hardship. Show her the fear and struggle of this land. Perhaps she may yet grow out of her Telvanni garment.
Of course.